Good morning, you lovely, lovely people. Welcome back to the beginning of the week. Weekend's gone. Didn't do anything exciting. Just been cleaning off this land, or clearing and cleaning. Anyway, I was looking on the internet for any updates on what happened to the to the killers of Elliot Eastman, and I can't find nothing. Literally, can't find nothing from 2025. It doesn't say anything about the ongoing case or the proceedings. Nothing. But it just got me thinking, right? There are plenty of lovely places in the Philippines to go where it's safe. Safe until it's not safe, okay? It beggars belief why some of these foreigners want to go to places where it's not safe. And the people tell them it's not safe, like Elliot Eastman. The people, even his wife's family said to him, "You're not safe here. You shouldn't be here." The police, the barangay captain of that place where he was, because he documented it in his videos, and he even said in some of his videos towards the end that he felt that he was going to be taken, but he didn't listen. And where my wife comes from, not in the heart of Liloy, but in the mountainous parts, it's people tell me, or they told in fact my wife knows, it's not a place where people like me will go and should not go. Now, the chances of something happening, I don't know, but even if there is a small chance of going somewhere where something can happen to you, it's not worth putting yourself in that situation, is it? It's really not. And this is what also gives the Philippines a bad reputation, is when some of these people, like Elliot Eastman, God bless his soul, when he was there and he got, what happened to him, it puts out a bad thing about the Philippines, like, oh, don't go there. Look what happened to Elliot Eastman. Look what happened to these people who have been kidnapped here in the past. And even Filipinos get taken as well. It's not just us foreigners. Even maybe high-profile ones, councillors and barangay captains, like it did in Aligway Island, which is not too far from here. And that's what also gives the Philippines a bad name, because foreigners, for some reason, are always high-profile when something happens to them. Now, a life is a life. It doesn't matter if you from the west, from the east, or wherever you're from. A life is a life. But it seems to be, for some reason, that Westerners are always profiled more. We're in the news more. But I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. But what I'm saying is, don't put yourself in a situation where something like that can happen. It can happen anywhere, people. I mean, there was places in the UK where I was staying, or not too far where I was living, where there was a lot of Somalians at the time, and they were put up in this hotel, and I think the hotel, if I remember rightly, was called the Adelphi Hotel, and it was like a disused hotel, and the government decided to put them all into this hotel, and that was a no-go area for us. And when that's a no-go area, why would I want to go there? There are many other places where I can go where it's safe, or as safe can be until something happens. But what I'm saying is, these foreigners who come here, there are places in Marawi. In fact, all of Marawi, to my reckoning, is a no-go place. I mean, now it's been flattened to the ground because of what Duterte did, when he was president, the war of Marawi. And there's a guy that I used to go fishing with, and he's a Muslim, a very nice guy. and he had family in Marawi, and he used to go there, quite regular. And he used to, he's got a Facebook account, and he put pictures on there, and it looked a very nice place. But even he said to me, Stephen, nah, it's not for you to go down there, and that's fair enough. It's fair enough. Even some Filipinos don't like to go to these places. So why would we? Why would we? Like I said, there's many places here that is foreigner friendly, like Zamboanga del Norte, the province. Some are safer than other places. Some people said to me, don't go past Sindangan, don't go past there, Sindangan is your limit. Well, people tell me that, and I listen. I don't think, it's all just talk, it's all just hearsay. It might be hearsay, it might be talk, it might be exaggerated, but I don't need to go there. I just truly don't need to go there. Where I live here, there are plenty of places where it is foreigner friendly, and there are quite a number of foreigners, not living where I am here, but nearby. And nothing's ever happened to them. I've never felt unsafe being here. I felt more unsafe being in Manila when I was there. I did really. Walking the streets of Manila late at night after being in a pub, having a few beers, I felt more unsafe there. And even the strength of alcohol, it didn't give me any more Dutch courage to walk them streets of Manila at night time. And I was staying in Ermita, I think it was. I was staying there briefly for 3 days, before I went down to Cebu. But I didn't feel happy there. I didn't feel happy. So there are safe places everywhere. There are not so safe places in every country, even in places like Japan, where it's the safest place on the planet, apparently, and South Korea. Very, very safe, but there is still places where it's not so safe. Here, I think there are places that is more not so safe. Cotabato, I know some foreigners, I think I have a couple of our subscribers who live down that area. Samar. But people here say, ooh, don't go down that way. So I don't need to be told twice. I mean, I've been to my wife's place a couple of times, and it's like chaperoned, from Amira's uncles. When we were looking at her land and stuff, my wife was with me, but there was always an uncle there nearby, and I think he was there just to make sure nothing did happen to me. So when my wife does go down there, which is very occasionally these days, I just stay here. I don't go down there. I don't need to go down there. I don't want to. It's a lovely place. It's got some, I think there is a place there called Little Surigao. And yes, most holiday resorts are safe, I think. I mean, I've never had any bad experiences in any holiday resorts. I had a couple of misdemeanors in Benidorm, I tell you that. And that was from the Spanish gypsies, believe it or not. And they target people like me, drunken people of a night time. That's what they do. It's how they earn their living. Not a good way to earn a living, but that's what they do, the Spanish gypsies. But I've never felt unsafe here, in this particular place where I live. There are good and bad everywhere, isn't there? There are good people, there are bad people, and there are opportunists, and there are people who just don't give a shit about the law and will do anything to get what they want. That happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. But here where I am, apart from the guy across the road, who, I told you the story, who, when he was sober, perfect, great guy. When he had a drink of Tanduay, he was like a Jekyll and Hyde, people. He was. And he used to go mental. He used to spaz out. And he was walking up the road with his bolos, and anyway, he was having for 3 or 4 days, and then someone reported him to the Tanods, to the barangay police, and they just come and beat the hell out of him. They really did, because he was walking around with bolos, with knives, with machetes. But except for that, and the family feuds, you know what happens with, not so much our family here, because my family don't live here, only my wife and son. They live in Dipolog and down in Lilloy. But the people who live here, they've lived here for generations, and they have a little row every now and again at a fiesta or a party, birthday, a family reunion. It always happens, you know, that one cousin, that one uncle, or even auntie, has too many drinks, and that's it. All hell breaks loose. But that's between them. It doesn't. I just think it's funny, you know. I do, honestly. I think, oh, here we go. Here we go. That's the 7th bottle of Tanduay. An argument is impending, and it always is. But it's these people that, you know, these like people like me, Westerners, who go to these. I mean, Mindanao, where I live, but I'm in northern Mindanao, which is relatively safe. There's been a couple of kidnappings here. I'm saying it's relatively safe. There was the Italian guy who was kidnapped twice. He was kidnapped twice. But the second time he was kidnapped, it must have been like, you know, an inside job, because they knew he was on medication and they wouldn't leave without his medication. Come on, people, what does that tell you? It was an inside job, wasn't it? But I think there was a guy a long time ago that was actually kidnapped and, you know, mullered in Katipunan. But that's going down towards Singdangan way, you know, Pagadian, these places. But there are a lot of foreigners who live there. But for me, I don't want to go. I don't need to go. I feel much safer in these provinces like this than I would in a city. Because in the city, there's more people drinking, especially weekends, people, especially weekends, and they get drunk and they want to fight you. Not saying it happens, but it can happen. You know, where you go to places where there are more people, it gives more opportunity for things to happen. More people. It's the same as cities. You know, cities, there is always more crime in the cities because there's more people in the cities. But for me, I don't feel unsafe here. I don't. And this gimbal is all over the place. I don't feel unsafe. I've never felt unsafe, except for the time when I was walking around in Manila, like I said. But I know what's going to happen here. When these fruit trees start to produce in between 3 and 5 years, let's just say 5 years, the two-legged fruit bats will be out. The two-legged fruit bats, the people. And they will be stealing left, right and centre. So what we're going to do, and my friend said this to me actually, a good friend, Anthony, he said, we'll build a little bi-high corbo down here. Oh, my legs. We'll build a little bi-high corbo just down here. This is in between that part, and this part. And when the fruit is starting to mature, it's a long way in the future, people, but you've got to think. He's going to, will he be the biggest thief? I don't know, but he's going to sleep in there. And he's going to protect the fruit. He's going to be the one who probably takes more and phone his mate up. Look, I'm protecting the fruit. Stephen's in sleep. Mira's asleep. Come on, let's raid it. No, I don't think he would. But anyway, but that's what'll happen. That's what'll happen. Listen, when I was a kid, and there was not so many orchards where I live, because I was from the northeast of England, and of course apples and that don't grow very well in there. It was quite cold at the time. Now with climate change, if that does exist, you know, I think you can grow bananas in the northeast of England these days. But yeah, you know, we used to raid the pear trees and all that. So it's just a thing, isn't it? You know, it'll never change. You know, where there is things to be taken for free, people will take them. And this place will be that kind of place. But this place is safe. This, people, has all got to be. I'm waiting for the killer to work. It's starting to work, as you can see. The green is starting to go. It's starting to get brown and ready to be raking again and burnt. And then we've got to get these roots out. This place is, this gimbal's all over. It's me, it's not the gimbal. But the trees are looking lovely, people. They really are. Oh, look, I'm all over the place with this gimbal. But they looking really, really nice in there. They grow on anywhere, anyway. And there's been no casualties of the trees. They all seem to be taken. But that's it, people. It's just a video on that. Don't put yourself in a situation. And then, you put yourself in a situation and something happens, and then you blame the Philippines. It's not necessarily the Philippines, it's the place you've gone. But that's it, people. I'm rambling. Oh, look at them trees. I keep checking every day for insects, but I sprayed once, and that was a week and a half ago. But looking very well. I'm very happy person. I'm like a farmer. I'm like a bloody farmer. Anyway, people, I'm over and out. Thank you very much. Share, subscribe, like, if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But thank you for the support, people. Thank you. It means a lot. Over and out. Bye-bye.